Straight up, this move could turn the TV market inside out. Welcome back to the channel for the topic that I don't think anyone had on their bingo cards, at least not right now. TCL taking control of Sony's TV division. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. In a joint press release, the two brands are calling it a strategic partnership to, quote, establish a joint venture that will assume Sony's home entertainment business, with TCL holding 51% and Sony holding 49% of its shares, end quote. We'll talk about the important dates to keep in mind for when all of this becomes more official in a second, but what's important to note is that the Sony and Bravia brands are not going anywhere. Instead, this combined company will sell TVs still carrying the Sony and Bravia name. The difference is they'll be using TCL display technology, since TCL's notable vertical integration means they can keep most of the production in-house. As it stands now and in the past, Sony outsources different parts, like its OLED panels, for example, from LG and Samsung. I should also note that there's been reporting that TCL CSOT is working on a new factory to produce OLED panels at a lower cost than the competition with their inkjet printing technology. We actually did a video about what we've seen from their latest screens back in November. So I think it would also be very premature to assume that Sony leaves the OLED game altogether. Now, just judging from comments I've seen across the internet so far, everyone's big concern is around quality, right? TCL makes a lot of budget TVs. A lot of you have complaints about longevity. Sony makes premium TVs. There seem to be more success stories about those units lasting nearly a decade or longer. But to be fair, Sony has something like 60 years in the US market versus TCL's 12 or 13. So there is a bias there, whether you want to admit it or not, just based on having the chance to grow up with one brand and not the other. Either way, and I've only been in this space for so long, and I don't have a dog in the fight, I haven't personally seen issues with TCL TVs, but I also haven't had the chance to use one long term. What I have seen is improvements year over year with TCL's LED TVs, and I'd expect that with access to Sony's technology, we'll see even more improvement. And on the Sony side of things, I pray that we see more competitive pricing to models sporting the Bravia branding. It's also very important to remember that you and I are a niche audience. Sony televisions hold big weight with its premium products among this small corner of the internet because we see the picture quality difference and appreciate that sort of thing. But outside of the TV enthusiast crowd, there are millions of others that look at a 65-inch TV as nothing more than a 65-inch TV. And with the budget, sure, they can be convinced to spend a little more for better quality. Premium $1,000 to $2,000 mini LED and OLED TVs sell just fine. And clearly, there's also a market for the best of the best, the Samsung S95 series and LG Gallery series. But on a lot of lists, while Sony does get accolades for picture quality, it just doesn't always win with value because of what we've all deemed the Sony tax. Paying a premium on top of an already high price can be tough. So that's where I think and hope this makes sense for Sony as a business and us as consumers. And none of that necessarily means that there will be any significant change to the Sony Bravia premium quality. Somewhat ironically, look at the Toyota Motor Corporation. They make the Toyota models that we know well, Corolla, RAV4, 4Runner, and they're very dependable everyday vehicles. Then there's Lexus, also under the Toyota Motor Corporation, which features higher-end models of SUVs and sedans. They've got the bells and whistles and premium quality you pay for. So, at least in my mind, there's no reason why TCL and Sony couldn't do something similar while also being able to give us some relief to the Sony tax with better production costs. Now, in saying all of this, I am well aware that my take is more on the positive side, but life's better with the glass half full, right? Some might say life's good. But think about this also. TCL is confirmed to have Dolby Vision 2 in their TVs. So I'm assuming that means we're closer to getting Dolby Vision 2 with Sony as well. And that pipeline from Sony camera all the way through the editing and encoding process with Dolby Vision to a premium Sony TV means we get shows and movies that look as gorgeous as they ever have. The dates you need to know? First, the goal of TCL and Sony is to execute definitive binding agreements by the end of March 2026. And once that's approved, the new company operations will begin in April 2027. So if you're really worried, well, there's not really much to even worry about this year. I would assume that Sony still has their RGB TV coming and that this won't affect that release. It's certainly been teased quite a bit. Not to mention, they're due for updates to their mini LED lineup. Speaking of which, let this be a reminder that we are approaching or already in the best times to buy TV models from the previous years. So if we are indeed getting updates to the LED lineup, that means we could soon see the best discounts available on the Bravia 7 and Bravia 9 to premium options that look outstanding. And for those of you worried about the future of Sony manufacturing, it's also your chance to buy from the current supply. Look, I'm just blabbing at this point, but you get it. This is a huge move in the TV industry, but I'm hopeful that it primarily works out for us, the consumer. Thanks for watching, guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Check your bias and prejudice at the door in the comment section. Keep having a great 2026, and we'll see you again soon.